tried a different approach. He upended Audie's chow tray as he walked past his table. Audie looked at the puddle of gravy, mashed potato, and chicken. Then he raised his eyes to the dice man. Some of the other cons laughed. Dice man seemed to grow 6 inches. Audie didn't say a word. He crouched down and began scooping up the mushed-up food, putting it back on his tray. People cleared back a little, sliding along the benches. They all seemed to be waiting for something, like passengers in a stopped train. Audie was still squatting on the floor, picking up food, ignoring everyone. It was like he inhabited a space of his own creation, outside the thinking of other folks, a place that lesser men can only dream of reaching. The dice man looked at his shoes. Gravy had splashed on them. "Lick it off," he said. Audie sighed wearily. "I know what you're doing." "What's that?" "You're trying to goad me into fighting or rolling over, but I don't want to fight you. I don't even know your name. You've started something, and you think you can't back down, but you can. Nobody is going to think less of you. No one is laughing." Audie stood up. He was still holding the tray. "Do any of you think this man is funny?" he shouted. He asked the question so earnestly, Moss could see people giving it some serious thought. The dice man looked around like he'd lost his place on the page. He swung a punch at Audie because that was his usual fallback position. In the blink of an eye, Audie had swung the tray into the side of the dice man's head. Of course, that only provoked him. He roared forward, but Audie was faster. He drove the corner of the tray into the dice man's throat with such force that he dropped him to his knees, where he curled onto the floor, struggling to breathe. The guards arrived and took the dice man to the prison hospital. Moss thought Audie had some sort of death wish, but that wasn't the case. Prison is full of people who believe the world doesn't exist apart from in their own minds. They can't imagine life outside the walls, so they bring their own world into being. A man is nothing inside. He's a grain of sand under somebody's shoe, a flea on a dog, a pimple on the buttocks of a fat man. The biggest mistake a man can make in prison is to believe he matters at all. Each morning it began again. Audie must have fought a dozen men the first day, and another dozen the second. By lockdown, he'd been bashed so badly that he couldn't chew, and both of his eyes were like purple plums. On the 4th day, the dice man had sent word from the prison hospital that he wanted Audie Palmer dead. His gang made the arrangements. That evening, Moss took his chow tray to the table where Audie was sitting alone. "Can I sit down?" "It's a free country," mumbled Audie. "It's not, though," replied Moss. "Not when you've been in prison as long as I have." The two men ate in silence, until Moss said what he came to say.